Not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds fine. Um, and
Okay.
we're live, guys. How's it going, Joe? How you doing today, bud?
All right, bud, man. I appreciate you having me on
You
the
doing
channel,
good?
man. How you doing? I'm
Thanks for
doing
being
well,
on.
man. I've been wanting to get on for
What
a
you
while
wearing
now.
watch wise? Yeah, it's been
Man.
our schedules keep getting
Yeah,
fluctuating there.
yeah, that's all.
What you what you wearing?
I got the Planet Ocean on today, the Seamaster, the 2011
Okay,
2500. Got it on the Artem strap
nice.
today. Very comfortable, and
Okay.
I love this watch, man. It's a very just durable watch, and the lume on it is fantastic. So and it's just an iconic piece, man. And the fact that it's got the orange bezel that's actually right now you can see it's kind of fading gives it a little bit of character.
Of
So
course, you know I love the orange.
yeah, you got to go
So
something different. Actually, that would if I were to guess what you had on today, I'm wondering if you're wearing the new Breitling that you had on the channel the other day.
yeah, actually, yeah, I am. This is it came in from Saltzman's. This is actually a discontinued model. It's the Aviator series.
Very nice, man.
So you actually get Rich actually set up a decent discount. I don't get any kickback or anything. They're just letting them in, but he set up a decent discount for my viewers on these 35% off. So
30.
that's not bad. Yeah,
Wow.
for the discontinued models. I don't know about the new models in the lineup.
That's not a bad deal, man. What about that orange one
Yeah.
you had on?
Def-
That sporty one.
oh, the orange one. Yeah, I still have that one. The one I got in from Roman. I'm definitely gonna add
Yeah.
one of these to the collection at some point. I'm assuming since you got the PO in orange, you're an orange watch guy too.
I'm an orange watch guy, but I'm a huge Breitling fan.
Okay,
This is why I brought this out for you. This is
nice.
the Breitling Headwind with the
Okay,
day complication and also
nice.
the day complication. This is actually a sterling silver dial that has been lacquered with black. So the
Okay,
negative or whatever's not blackened is actually the silver shining through. So when you have it in different lights, you can actually see the lettering really glimmer. It's really
nice.
it's a gorgeous watch. It measures in at 43 millimeters. Your typical thickness of a diver. It's a very comfortable watch, man. I love it.
Nice. Breitling makes a lot of good pieces, man. That's one I really miss is my Super Ocean Heritage too. I had that blue dial a while
Yeah,
back. I had the 44 and I had that the Seamaster at the same time. I figured I didn't need two blue dial divers, so I ended up selling the Breitling, but stupidly. Now they'll probably be a rebuy in the 42 this time
so
around.
so that would
So,
be one of your regrets.
yeah. Yeah, not really regret, but definitely gonna be rebuying.
Okay.
What about you? You got any you looking at this year?
Um, yeah, actually, my fiance was asking me that just the other day. She's actually my enabler. She gets me a lot of really cool watches.
Uh-oh.
Um, so I actually have one coming into the collection on my birthday. Not allowed to open it until then, but spoiler alert,
Okay.
I know it's the Timex Q Snoopy, but it's
Okay.
the Batman.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I've been wanting a Q for a while, ever since they came out, but I kind of wanted to wait until they produced the automatics. So this one's going to be the automatic version,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a huge Snoopy fan, so I mean it's just a match made in heaven, man. What about you? You got
Definitely,
any?
they're fun watches. I've got the little Pepsi.
Yeah, you got the Pepsi one.
Yeah, I got the quartz one. It's a fun little watch. I wear it to work a lot.
Yeah, it's and it's a retro. You know, they're actually going back to the roots in the '70s. How do you like
Mm-hmm.
the bracelet? Is it a hair puller for you?
It does here and there, but it's not that bad. I guess
Yeah,
you kind of get used to it after a while. Like I don't even think about it. Like at first, it kind of bothered me, but now it doesn't really. I don't really even think about it.
I think
Timex,
with
I feel like Timex and Breitling are two brands to watch out for this year.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get my hands on another Breitling this year, but what I'm thinking about doing is I actually have two Breitlings. This one's actually the Chronomat, I'm actually going to put it back on the pilot's bracelet, but this one's
Okay.
got awesome AR coating. I mean, you can see it's there's no reflection on that
Nice.
dial. This one's a 1992 piece. So
Okay.
I'm thinking about possibly selling this and using the proceeds to buy myself a newer Breitling. I can't
Uh-huh.
get away. I love Breitling. So
What
it's nice.
what Breitling are you looking at?
So yesterday, we went to the boutique in King of Prussia, in Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and we were looking at quite a few. I actually like the new Breitling Chronomats. That
Okay.
green dot is beautiful, and it's got the retro bracelet on it as well. But they also have a Breitling for Bentley version, which has
Mm-hmm.
the leather strap that's actually taken from the Bentley, like the inspiration's taken from the Bentley seats. It's got the same
Nice.
diamond pattern and everything. So I think the green is going to be the new blue for me right now. It really just glimmers in a light,
Yeah.
man. You got to see this in person.
And the great thing about the new Bentleys too, they kind of downsized them a little bit. They used to be what, like 46 or something like that, and I think they're down to what 43, a little bit more manageable. I think now.
They're definitely a lot more manageable indeed. I mean, they're not huge. If you want a huge watch, they still
Mm-hmm.
have big watches. I did try on the Navi timer, and that one is every bit of 46 millimeters. But again, you're looking at a
Mm-hmm.
pilot's watch. Pilot's watches need to be easily read, and they're usually larger anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
I can forgive, but I
Mm-hmm.
know Breitling really has shrunk down their sizes, and it was nice to try on some watches that actually fit
Yeah.
on my 7-inch wrist. So it was a good trip yesterday.
Nice. Yeah, I've been up there when I went to go see my cousin, his wife up to King of Prussia. They got a lot of different ADs and boutiques. So you guys are a little bit spoiled there, ain't you? In choice.
They actually just built that because I had no idea that they were there.
Mm-hmm.
They said they've been there for a few months, so it's pretty cool how they built the store because it's really small. So it's almost like it's
Now, is it just Breitling or is it the Tornado?
so here's the thing. They actually have a Tourneau. Basically, it's only another section down, so it's not even that far away from there
Mm-hmm.
because that's actually where we were heading. And then we look over and we see Breitling Boutique, and I'm like, we look at each other, me and my fiance, and we're like, we don't remember this being here. We went in there and we had a blast. They let us try on pretty much every watch in the store. So I'm gonna put some pictures up on Instagram of our trip. It
Okay.
was really cool. Yeah.
And that's one thing I don't know if you know Chris over at NTH, Chris Vale. Me and him, I met him when I went to Philly. I went to the King of Prussia and we went AD shopping at
Okay.
different places.
Did you check
Yeah,
out the
he's pretty cool guy.
Did you check out the Omega store?
The what?
The I'm sorry, the
Oh
Omega.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tried on the Planet Ocean. Yeah, the Omega Boutique. Yeah.
Yeah. The
And
Planet
what
Oceans are.
surprised me was the Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc had some really nice pieces.
So did you see that at Tourneau?
Yeah, we went in the Tornado too. They had a lot of
Yeah.
different pieces in there. A lot of pieces I never really tried on before, which was cool to see.
We didn't even go into Tourneau because there was a line out there and a security guard was letting people in. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan
Mm,
of Tourneau. They're just the customer service there just isn't the greatest. So we didn't mind. So we just go right into
mm,
Omega. We went Breitling. Superior customer service in those places. Tourneau has a lot to be
mm.
desired. So, but if you want to look at
Okay.
different watches in one place, they got their section for Rolex, and they've got
Mm,
Ennis, and they got tags and Hamiltons and Breitling, Omega, all types of different brands. So I mean, it's a nice one-stop shop. But man, I just wish that their customer
mm.
service was better.
Definitely. We got Bruce Blue Shirt Buddha in the house. We got Bobby Smith, Peter C, Thomas Burnett, got Clive, 90 Knots. How's
Oh,
everybody doing? What are you guys all wearing in the chat, watch wise, by the way? If you
welcome
guys want to
everybody.
comment down there below. Do you guys have any questions for Joe? And you've been doing YouTube for how long? You been doing YouTube for now, Joe?
So Average Joe Watch Reviews was established 2018, but we didn't really start uploading consistently until 2019. So
Okay.
so I technically say 2019, but I did my first video was in the spring of 2018, which was a really, really, really bad video. It was my Omega Speedmaster. It was a triple date that I had, and I filmed it outside on my porch. So we had birds chirping, we had the chimes in the background, and the water fountain dripping. So, and then I had one hand on the camera, one hand on the watch, and everybody was just vomiting in the comments because it was so shaky. The sound wasn't good, and I'm sure you can attest to this with your videos. Like when you first started, it's a learning curve, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
How was your first video? How would you describe it? And what
It
what
was
do you
low sound quality, and
yeah.
low sound quality, low visibility with the light, all kind of crap was going wrong with it.
And then you find yourself
definitely made major improvements of those.
Oh, absolutely, man. You find yourself buying new equipment, like we talked offline. You said you've upgraded your iPhone, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, upgraded from a 6 to an 11, which is a huge upgrade and difference, not only just for the phone but for the camera and everything.
Yeah, I had the same one, the iPhone 11, and I actually upgraded from a Samsung. I had a Samsung before. The reason why I made the switch was because I love the fact that the iPhone offers iMovie, which is a really good editing software. And so I can lay in bed at night and edit my videos. So I do everything on my phone, believe it or not. I mean, I film it, I edit it, and everything is just done on the phone. Just a one-stop shop for my videos. So how about you, man? What editing?
Pretty much what I use.
Yeah. Okay.
I use that in video shop editor, I think is the app that I use. Adam from 1010 Talking actually got me on that one. I don't know if you know Adam or not. He got me on that, and then for the thumbnails, Canva is a free app to use, and you kind of download the pictures on the thumbnails, so you have like consistent thumbnails. So
really?
It's pretty cool, yeah. And I'm not tech savvy at all, so if anybody's interested in starting a channel or whatever, it's definitely a learning curve. But you can definitely learn. Yeah. You can teach yourself. It's not too hard, huh?
Yeah, I use Spark, Adobe Spark for my thumbnails, and they have a free version of that. Okay. I would highly recommend that to you. I think that they do have a lot of different tools that you can use, and you can make a pretty nice looking thumbnail with that. But yeah, it seems like we're on the same page there.
Definitely. Now, do you find your collection, since you have a channel, do you find it? Do you like to consolidate your collection, or do you find it tough to consolidate having a channel?
So I've actually I've actually consolidated just recently. I've gotten back on eBay, so I've kind of taken a really hard look at the watches that I've been keeping in my collection and said to myself, if I haven't worn them in the past 3 to 6 months, they got to go, you know? And one of the biggest fringe benefits of having a channel that I had absolutely no idea about was all the free watches that come into your channel. I've been so blessed with companies that send me their watches to review, and they allow me to keep them. So that doesn't help with my collection either. And the other thing is, like, for instance, Clam Walker, he sent me 3 Casios to review, and that's awesome. So when it comes to material, it just seems to flow, you know, whether it's like you're getting gifts from your family, you're buying a watch, companies are sending them in, reviewers are sending them in. It's just it's a huge blessing and something I had absolutely no idea about. So I don't know about you, but I mean
Yeah.
I've seen you've got a partnership there with is it with Breitling or is it with a jewelry
No,
shop?
with Saltzman's. Yeah, Saltzman's in
Oh,
Rhode Island. I just formed
okay.
that partnership. So it's been pretty cool to work with them, and then also Roman over Roman Sharf Luxury Bazaar with him as well. So I've got some access to some pretty cool pieces. He's kind enough to send it, and he's actually I was talking to him a little like last week actually, and he's probably going to send me in a really nice piece, probably an unexpected one. So
Oh,
I have to send it back, but it's pretty high end though. He's going to send, so it's pretty cool to get these see pieces like that
that's
because I mean
impressive.
otherwise here at the beach we don't have much for 80s. Like I wouldn't get to see half the pieces or try
Right.
half the pieces on had it not been for the channel, you know.
Absolutely,
So
man.
like
That's amazing.
Breitling, and Rolex, of course. In the Rolex, there's never anything there at the Rolex 80, so it's not
Right.
like
Yeah. What's your collection looking like these days?
mostly Iffles right now. I have the Alpinist, the Islander, the Hamilton, the khaki mechanical, the 38. I've got
Very nice.
like I said, the Islander dive watch, the Orient TriStar. I kind of find myself going back and forth from like luxury to affordables and back. Like right now, I'm having more fun in the $500 to $2,000 price range. Now, do you find
Yeah.
yourself doing the same thing, like going back and forth from like luxury, to higher end to like affordables, and then back?
I think I base it off of whether or not I have a job or not. This past year has actually been a blessing in disguise. I was actually unemployed for the entire year. But
Yeah,
hey, Josh from the town watch is checking in. A good friend of mine.
what's going on,
Uh,
bud?
so so this past year I haven't been buying much because I'm trying to stretch out my savings and as much as
Mm,
I can. So I found myself really relying more on just doing the sponsored watches and focusing more on the
mm,
micro, which has really taken me through the year, and I've been really blessed with that. So I think for me, it's dependent upon whether or not I have a job first and foremost, and also um, has is there anything in the pipeline in regards to house need work?
mm.
Is there a big bill coming in? So when the money, like if I get a big bonus and there's a lot of money, some of it's going to go into some investments and savings, and then maybe a little bit will go into a new luxury piece. So for me, it's definitely dependent on cash flow for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely the same way with me. Of course, I've been lucky and fortunate to still remain. I get my 40 hours every week. I work at Lowe's, so I don't make a ton of money, but I make enough to support me and the girlfriend, whatever. Of course, I don't support her, but we go out, whatever, do that stuff.
Absolutely, man.
So
We got Junior in the house. What's going on, Junior?
but yeah, that's yeah, Junior Johnson. He's in a lot of the chats. He's real active in the community.
He's very
And then
active.
the Town Watch. He's located where you're at, isn't he? He's in Philly as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So Josh is he's actually in Philadelphia, and I'm in the outer suburb. So I'm really like the next town over,
Uh-huh.
and so we're virtually like 20 minutes away from each other. So
Uh-huh.
um, we've done a couple collabs. He's actually,
Mm-hmm.
I think the only the only watch reviewer I've actually met in person.
Okay.
Even though I feel like I know you guys, and I really had to think about that because when you're on YouTube and Instagram and you do this so much as we do, when you talk to your family and your friends, I consider you guys my friends. It's like even though I've never
Mm-hmm.
met you, it's like, oh yeah, Chris over the Watch Lounge, and you got David Schwartz of the Schwartz Force, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
so like you kind of like take a step back, like what, I've never met these guys, but yet you feel like you have because
Mm-hmm.
of these live streams and the fact that we have such a close fam. The Watch fam an incredible community that we're a part of. So here's another huge supporter right here, Ken Spear. He's another Pennsylvania boy.
Yeah.
I think he's about 4 hours from where we are. But yeah, really cool individual who supports our channels. So thanks for showing up, bud.
Definitely. Yeah, he's always commenting on a lot of videos and a lot of live streams. He's another real active guy. And that's James. I don't know if you know my buddy James. Me and him have collabed a couple times. The Great Gambino Watch Reviews.
But you know what, man?
Good channel too.
One of the biggest reasons why I wanted to come on was to meet you finally, because we've talked back and forth.
Yeah.
But so I know you have a pretty close knit community, and I'm always up for meeting new friends. And I knew we would have some of our mutuals, but
yeah,
it's nice to meet new people as well. So I appreciate meeting all you guys here in the chat. Peter sees another guy who supports the channel as well. Thanks for showing up, bud.
Yeah, Peter, he's learning a couple. He actually learned, and I have his Casio. I'll probably post that up tomorrow. I think it's the beside the Royal Alt kind of
very nice
looking one. That's the one that he learned, and then he sent in that Timex, that Navi I did a little while back too. So if it wasn't people for for people like them, the channel, we wouldn't have videos to do too.
Oh, absolutely. Without the subscribers, I mean, we wouldn't be anything. We would just be watching. So it's really nice to have people that actually find us at least semi-entertaining, or at least the watches that we put on. Because let's be honest, I don't think anybody tunes in to see me. Okay, they want to see the watches, and quite frankly, if I were to reverse the role, I wouldn't blame them. So that was a learning curve for me when I was it was actually not that long ago where I was doing too much of me, like camera on me, I'm talking, telling stories, and I had to really take a hard look at my channel and say, where's all the drop off? And I could see it's dropping off when I'm talking. It's but it starts to pick up when the watch is shown. And then I had to put myself and other people be like, you know what? I don't blame them. I mean, I came here for the watch. I didn't come here for this ugly guy. Come on, off the screen. Let's show us the watch.
That's the same thing I did. I switched. I was talking at first. If you notice in my other videos, I talk for a little bit at first and then now I just show the watch. So I noticed I get a little bit more interaction. Of course, if they want to see me, they can see us on a live stream or whatever.
There you go.
But that's that people are there for the watches.
Exactly. So that's when you have a watch channel, you have to take a hard look at yourself. But if you want to be successful, you have to really have tough skin, not only from the subscribers and the people in your comments who are sometimes not the nicest, but you got to take a really honest look at yourself and be like, would I watch this if I were them? And you know what? To be honest with you, my truthful answer was I would probably tune off too. So, that's where you make your changes. It's been a really awesome ride, man. I don't know about you, but it's just I think I went on 1.27 1,200 subscribers, man. You're growing. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, man. How many are you up to now?
3,000.
Nice.
1,100, something like that. So, you know what? We talk amongst each other, as YouTubers, and put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We're like, oh, that channel's growing so fast, and I'm growing so slow. And it is a race, right? It's a race, but it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So for me, it's as long as you everybody's got different goals. So your goal is going to be a different goal than someone else's. So as long as you accomplish your goals, it's not the quickest guy there. You know what I mean? It's more like last man standing. Just stay consistent, have fun, which is the number one rule for my channel. Gotta have, and if you have fun, you'll be successful and you'll continue doing it. I see that you're consistent. I think your bread and butter has definitely been the live streams, man.
Yeah, I
I
think
see.
so.
Yeah, like that's your natural ability to talk with others about watches and whatnot. And it seems like you have a lot more fun at that. I don't know. But
Yeah,
your are great. I love your reviews. Don't get, but I
thanks,
think
man.
your bread and butter, man, definitely is these live streams.
Yeah, Clive can be pretty entertaining too when I have mine.
Yeah,
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 he cracks me up.
yeah. And you
And
usually get a
Brew
steady
is
crowd.
good. Shoot, Bruda.
Yeah,
Yeah, decent. About what it is right now, about 20 or so. So hoping to start getting a little bit bigger of a
and
crowd, and see whether I have the amount of subscribers I have now, or if I have 30 or 40,000. I'll
right.
still enjoy doing it. I mean, it's not like a job or anything to me. Like I still enjoy looking at different watches and talking to everybody else about. Because I have my friends here and my girlfriend and all that. I can talk to them about watches, but they're just she just kind of tunes it out at this point. She's just like,
YouTube's a
you
nice
know.
outlet, right? You,
Mhm.
you got you have people that actually want to talk watches, and so it's a nice outlet. So you don't have to bore your girlfriend or
Mhm.
whoever trying to talk watches to that's not interested. So this has been a great outlet,
Mhm.
and you said it, like it's not a job. So treat it like a hobby and have fun with it.
Mhm. Definitely, yeah. Like I said, and it's cool to be able to get to see. Like now, I know I definitely do want to add this at some point to the
Oh,
collection. Otherwise, before I wouldn't have known for sure whether I wanted to or not. That's probably one you'd probably like to look at too. Something like
you know
that.
what?
I don't know.
I'm a
You're a Phillies fan. They got it in red.
I'm a huge Philly fan right here. So, uh, what is your feelings of that being a quartz? Because I know it's not a cheap quartz, and it does have
Yeah.
a lot of. What's your feelings on paying $3,000 for a quartz watch?
Honestly, that doesn't really bother me that much. And of course, you can get it at a discount. Most Breitling you can get it at a discount. But
Right.
it really doesn't bother me because it's got a lot of technology that goes into it. Like it's
Mhm.
got that super bright is what it's called. It's really, like I said, a lot of technology that goes into it is real lightweight too. So it's kind of like a really good grab and go. I would consider it almost like a G-Shock. Not quite as durable maybe, but close to it. So it'd be a really good grab and go. Like I would probably, if I buy it, I probably wouldn't have a problem wearing it to work. It's supposed to be scratch resistant and everything too. So
Right.
they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really good looking piece. Extremely sporty. I'm actually that's the first time I
Yeah.
saw it was on your, like, that's a Breitling. Like that's a
Yeah.
really good.
And
You know.
it fits like somebody like myself, it fits our lifestyle. It's like if you're active or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's a neat watch. Now isn't that supposed to also be an ultra accurate movement? Like, that's I think, isn't that up there with
yeah,
like.
like I think it's like a 1/10 of a second chronograph, from what I believe. It's got
Okay.
the bidirectional bezel too, which is pretty cool. The compass, all that. So I don't know if you can see
So
that or not.
that's like a friction fit.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's definitely got a lot going on in the dial, but I kind of like it in this case.
And that
So
AR,
it's
man,
definitely pretty cool.
I don't see an ounce of
And
reflection
Breitling,
on.
of course, as you know, nobody does straps like Breitling. Breitling has some pretty comfortable straps, and
Yeah.
it's really lightweight too. I mean, really, like it doesn't even wear like it's on the wrist for like a 43, 44 mil. So it's not bad at all.
So that one's going to be added to your list soon, huh?
Yeah, probably not right now, but it will be soon. It will be
Okay.
soon.
That's a cool watch, man.
So, next Q, what are your plans collection wise?
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
I'm sorry. Other than the Timex Q, what do you got a plan for the
Ah,
collection wise to purchase?
oh, you know what? That's the thing. I don't really. I'd love to add another Breitling to the collection, but it's probably not going to happen this year. This is kind of like my recovery year, so
Hmm.
um, That's a great question, man. I did I did a review on this Christopher Ward Moonglow, and I still have it.
I
I
saw
love
that.
I love this watch, man. It's a beautiful piece, man. Um, a lot of
Nice.
people, they don't like the two moons on it. They think that
Hmm.
the translucent sapphire underneath the sapphire should be a little bit darker, but I think that's what gives it its charm, and it makes it a conversation piece. So I think I would love to get my hands on this watch eventually, but this one's
Okay.
$2,000. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be added to the collection this year or not.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's what's exciting about my collection is that I don't really have any plans. I kind of just go with the flow, and so I have no idea what my collection is going to look like in another month, even. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I know a lot of guys, and I think you're probably one of them that you kind of have a plan as to where you're shooting for, but I think
Hmm.
once you acquired your Grail pieces, like I love this, I love this. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm okay. I'm okay now, and now I'm just kind of just relaxing,
Hmm.
like taking it in, and just taking it as they come. So, what about you, man?
Hmm.
What are your plans? Plans for next year?
Um, Obviously, add that. I do want to add that Breitling in, and then as I mentioned, I think I mentioned off channel, of course, the Super Ocean Heritage too. I missed that piece, so I'll probably rebuy that in 42. I'll probably get it used because you can get them used pretty decent.
Oh
So
yeah,
those
yeah.
two were really the only two that I have planned, and I do like the new the red square G-Shock that just came out.
Okay.
I do really like that, the all metal. So I don't know
Uh,
if I'll add that or not yet. So we'll
yeah,
see. I like the
yeah.
camo one too, the blue camo, but I can't see myself paying $1,000 for G-Shock.
Oh, no. Hey man,
That's
no.
just
Clam Walker sent me the Full Metal Jacket Casio. I mean
mm,
that bracelet looks like an AP. Like it's legit. It's very comfortable. And I'm not used to wearing a Casio that is full metal, and it wears like a Casio. It's comfortable, but yet it looks like $1,000,000 on your
yeah,
wrist. I think Clam Walker
yeah.
may have sold me on that watch, man. That's a really cool watch, you know. And they're not trying to. And I think my opinion is on clomages out there. This is paying respect to
Mm,
AP, but it's doing it completely Casio. I mean, the only thing that would be
mm.
AP is the case shape, but
And
you
what
know,
is it like? Total is like what, $200 with everything into it? I think is all they are,
very
something like that.
very yeah. It's. I mean, like you just mentioned, the one that you're looking at, the blue camo is $1,000. Well,
Hmm.
this particular watch, I find it to be a humongous value, as you said,
Mm.
like around $200, like all in. That's a really really good value, and I would have never taken a second look at that watch, but when he sent that in and I opened it up, I was like, holy smokes, this is a legit piece. I could see why people are liking these things.
Yeah. Peter brings up a good comment. I don't know if you saw, I had the Pelagos in a bit ago. I did the review last
All
week,
that.
and
Yeah.
that was a watch that actually surprised me. That's another thing about the channel too. Like you'll get in watches, and you won't. I didn't think it would surprise me as much as it did, and it wears really light for the 42 size, like that
Right.
titanium. And it's
Right.
a lot of watch for. I mean, it's granted $5,000, but it's still a lot of watch for what you get. I mean,
Yeah.
compared to like, of course, it's Rolex's little brother, but compared to like Rolex or something like that, it's definitely. I feel like it might be worth it at that price.
I feel like titanium's a very underused metal. So
Hmm.
I just got the SWC Swiss Watch Company
Hmm.
field in.
Hmm.
That thing is so light, but yet the case looks like it's like a gunmetal color,
Hmm.
and it's been in the hands of quite a few reviewers, and there's not a scratch on it. So, I mean, I'm assuming that it costs more. I mean, I know it's more than stainless steel.
I don't
But
know
when
if you saw that. I
you
dropped
look at
that this morning. That's the Mito, the Ocean Star, the Eric Linden. This is titanium too, and it
that, right?
wears. Like it's not even on the wrist for like a 43mm piece. Like it's not even on the wrist. Like it's so light.
Exactly. And that looks like a heavy watch, but the
Yeah.
titanium is so much lighter than steel and
Mm-hmm.
tougher that you just wonder, well, all right, I can't say wonder because I mean I know that, you're looking at the most profit and steel
Mm-hmm.
stainless obviously going to be your most affordable option, but still maintain its luster and toughness. But I find titanium to be a very underused metal and
Mm-hmm.
watch. And like what you just showed me there. I mean, that watch is probably not going to show much wear at all.
No, yeah.
No.
I think Eric's had this. He said for about 3-4 years now. And it's got the edit movement in it, so it's got the workhorse movement for right under. I think they retail for right around 1,000. But you can
Okay.
usually pick them up like Jump Shop or somewhere like that. I think for like 70, 100. I think.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of watch for the money with the edit movement.
Oh, absolutely, man. I wanted to ask you, would you buy a Breitling from Joma Shop as opposed to getting a 35% discount from a boutique? Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
boutique prices, I mean, they're extraordinary. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta pay for the lights and the staff, whatever it is, like for the store. Where Joma Shop is their website, so they're cutting out that middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel as though even at the extraordinary prices of a boutique, still giving you that 35% off, do you find it maybe even more affordable on Joma Shop? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, sometimes I find them more affordable on Joe's Shop.
Yeah.
Funny story. I don't know if you remember. I had my first Swiss watch was my first real Swiss watch was the Tudor, the Edda, the Black Bay, and I
Ooh,
had actually gotten that. It was one of the last ones they had on WatchMax. I don't know if you're familiar with WatchMax or not.
no, not at
But the only
all.
reason I felt comfortable buying it that way was because it's, of course, Edda movement, so I knew the service wouldn't be that much.
Right.
But that's one thing you got to look at too. I think you got to look at the cost, like what it'll be to service the movement. Like if it's the in-house Breitling, then maybe not. But the Breitling, they do use at a movement in some of their pieces, don't they? Or is it Solita
The sleep.
modified?
Yeah.
So possibly some of those pieces I probably would, or I would probably go over to their competitor, actually Roman, just because I know him. And he's what I do like about his business, even though it is gray market, there's a name and there's a face behind the business as opposed to like Joma Shop. You know what I'm saying? Like he puts his face out there, his name out there.
That's a
So,
good point. When you have a personal relationship and you've met the person, whether it's in person or you've them, I think customer service goes a long way. So I have a tendency to deal more with someone that I trust. So I feel like I would pay even a little bit more if it was somebody that I can get it from that I know would stand behind their product. So you make a valid point there where like, if you know the person, like, that they're a stand-up person and you're buying an expensive piece, you know that person's going to stand behind it. Yeah, I would have a tendency to lean more towards that direction for sure.
yeah, but I mean, I bought plenty from Joma's shop. There's I don't know if you saw a while back. I did a video on like do's and don'ts of buying from Joma's shop, and there was like one of the things you got to look at is whether it's the items in stock or not too. Because if it's not in stock, then
Yeah,
it could take 2 weeks to get it, or it could take a month or so to get it.
I
You know?
remember that. I think they have some type
Yeah.
of source where if you're a first timer on Joma Shop, it looks like the watch is available like right then and there, and you think you're going to get it within a couple days. But you have to really look at it, because once you buy it, it'll ship within 4 to 6 weeks. And what they're doing is they're setting the watch so that they can find it for you and then have it shipped out to you. So it's almost like you got to read the fine print. But you can't beat the prices, man. I mean, from what I understand,
Oh yeah.
I've ordered from them and I never had a problem. But
No, yeah, I've never had a problem. You just got to make sure it's in stock
that's the
when
only
it's
complaint
there.
yeah, that's it.
Definitely. But it's something like this Mito. Like I would buy this Mito from them. Something like that, with like an Edda or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I know with Joma Shop, you don't get the you're not going to get the manufacturer warranty, but Joma Shop offers their own.
Mm-hmm.
You kind
Mm-hmm.
of give, you know. I mean, if you're saving $1,000, $2,000 on a piece, sheesh. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, sometimes you don't get the original box, you
Mm-hmm.
know. You might not get
Which that
that,
doesn't
but
really bother. All my boxes do is sit there and collect dust. I mean, they're sitting on my desk right now.
exactly, exactly. Um, I do like the. It seems like the trend now is what they're doing. They're doing like these travel packs. So like that's been like their packaging for a lot of these watch companies.
Mm-hmm.
They're making their packaging more user friendly so that you're not going to store it in your closet, but you'll actually use them. So I kind of appreciate that. It's pretty cool to see like these travel cases and these
Mm-hmm.
watch they're putting them in. But me personally, I'm a sucker for a good old fashioned handmade like wood box. You know, something that looks like it's
Mm-hmm.
just I could display my watch
That
in
is
that.
one
And
thing Omega does better than anybody. I think is definitely their boxes. They have some
yeah,
of the best boxes out there.
I've seen one. Unfortunately, when I got this watch, I got it secondhand and it didn't come with the box. But I was thinking about going on eBay and just buying one
Mm-hmm.
and displaying, you know, but I got my watch winders behind me and whatnot, so I usually keep it in that. So
Okay.
what's your collection look like
And
now?
then
Like how many?
Rick's asking anyone here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm down to about 8 or so that I wear regularly, which lately I hadn't really been wearing much because I've been getting a lot of cool pieces for the channel. Like I was wearing that Pelagos before I had to send it back. So like I said, probably about eight pieces or so mainly. What about you,
That's
size
like the
wise? What was yours up to?
I mean, I think eight's the perfect amount. I was actually up to 50 and then I uploaded a lot of them off on the eBay. So I'm probably down about 35 to maybe 40-ish right now, but I don't know. It's still too much because I'm not going to wear them all. So I have to do another purge. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Someone asked about the Joma Shop warranty. Did anybody ever make a claim? I don't know of anybody that has.
I
What about
never
you?
have had to.
Yeah.
No, I never have had to. I've usually bought like Orient stuff like that from them, like nothing too
Right.
crazy. Whenever I
But I
have
mean,
bought something, so
you look at their ratings. I mean, they have good ratings. So I mean, you know,
yeah,
I have to assume that they're doing good by their customers. You know, I mean, people talk about
yeah.
them. Even us, I hear Joma Shop come up a lot. So I mean, one of us would have said something, out of the ordinary. If so, here's somebody here, Great Grand Gambino.
Yeah, James. Yeah, made a warranty claim. And he said they replaced the movement. That's good.
So,
At least they replaced it for him.
yeah,
So,
I would expect that from a company like them. I mean, they're actually one of
mhm.
the most well-known gray market dealers around. So, and they're based out of New York. So, they're basically right above me, within hours. So,
Mhm.
pretty cool. But yeah, I never had a problem with them.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, I've never had a problem with them. I think some of the stuff you might have to watch. Like, of course, maybe a lot of people say they bought Speedies from them, but I don't know if I would buy like a Speedy from them per se, just because of the cost to, get serviced and everything in case something was to go wrong.
If something was to go wrong, and that's where you have to make that decision. Do I want to have the manufacturer warranty, or do I want to have the Joma
Mhm.
Shop when it comes to a higher end watch? Luckily for me, I haven't had to make that decision at this point, but I think that would be a legit thing to consider
Yeah.
when at like, is it worth saving $1,000, $2,000 when I don't
Mhm.
know. I would have to do more research on that first.
I'm not in the market. Rick's asking, would any of us buy a 20K watch, 20K plus watch from Jumbo Shop? That would definitely be a no. I'd definitely buy something like that from the boutique or AD for sure.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at watches at that price, saving $1,000 to $2,000 probably wouldn't really. It would be like saving a couple bucks to me and you. You know what I mean?
No,
So
yeah,
I would say heck no, because the other
yeah.
thing is I don't trust the mailing system that much to have a watch being shipped, even though I know it's insured and
Mm,
whatnot. I don't know. I think my cutoff point is probably, man, maybe $2,000 for a watch over the
mm,
mailing system. Hey, um,
yeah.
I just I don't
About
know, man.
like Docs or something like that would probably be the most I would go. Which I mean, they don't sell in Jumbo Shop, but that would probably be the
Yeah,
most I would go through, like internet wise, more
yeah. I think
likely.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I was looking at like a Breitling and I was going through Joma Shop, I mean, I'd probably pay. I know I just said 2,000, but I'd probably pay like four or 5,000. You know, but I think
Mm.
that's I'm
Now,
really
something like this, I would probably buy from them if they had a great deal because this quartz, is nothing too
yeah
crazy.
yeah
Or like what is it? I can't even think of the name of what's their other digital one?
uh
Aerospace,
aerospace.
something like
Yes,
that. I probably would.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is your favorite brand Breitling?
That's one of my favorites. They've grown on me a lot in the last couple of years. They're definitely one of my favorites. If I had to pick a favorite, be hard to do, but probably Zen would probably be my favorite.
Oh, really?
That's like one I've always said I could, even though I don't currently own one. I've owned like two different ones, the
Mm-hmm.
104 and the U1. I miss the U1 a lot, so that's probably going to be another rebuy, that or the U50, because I like the size on the new U50, but it still has the looks of the U1. And that's one brand that's I feel like is they do a lot. They're kind of, even though they're talked about a lot, they're kind of under the radar still, and they're
Right.
not. It's an obtainable brand. Some of them are kind of pricey, but they're not like over the moon pricey.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Um, what is it about that brand that makes them top for you?
I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess, because the quality for money that you get, and a lot of people are probably going to hate me for this, but they have like comparable quality to like Omega or
Mhm.
Breitling, other brands like that, at like a fraction of the cost. And of course, the Germans, they know how to make some really good stuff.
That's true,
So
man.
all the te- technology that goes into them, like the
Huh.
tendon, the steel and everything, the U-boat steel and everything, they're just like built solid like a tank.
I have
So,
absolutely no
have you
experience
ever
with
had
that
any
brand.
experience with Zen?
Not at all, man. But now that you're
Okay,
talking about it,
what's your favorite brand?
my favorite brand by far is Breitling. And the reason why I was asking you,
Okay.
why I was asking you why you chose Zen is because, and when you said quality and durability, is because I had the same reason for Breitling. When you have this watch on your wrist, it feels quality, man. It's got
Mm,
some weight to it. I mean, when you click the bezel, when you wind the movement, I mean, everything about this watch makes me know that if I bang this up against a door jamb, if I'm doing whatever with
mm,
this watch, that I know it's not going to break on me. It's built tough.
mm,
So that's my big. But obviously the other thing is the aesthetics. There's not. If you were to ask me if there's a Matt, if I were to if Joe, if I were to buy you a watch, from any brand, right? Which which brand would you have the most love for in regards to their lineup of watches? There's not a Breitling that I don't like. I think I can say Rolex. I only have a couple of watches that I actually do like out of their brand. There's
mm,
not many that I like aesthetically. Omega's a close. I mean, they have a lot, but I think Breitling, I think definitely takes them over. I mean, you could buy me any Breitling, and I would love it. I think their
mm,
designs are absolutely stunning, and their sizes are on point. Now, granted, there are a couple larger pieces that I wouldn't sport, but
mm.
but the design on the dial, the bracelets, the just everything about them, I'm totally on board for. So.
They do make some of the best bracelets in the business. I feel like some of the
Uh,
most comfortable. The straps.
Well, and the pilot bracelet is amazing. I did a tutorial on how
Mm-hmm.
to remove the links of a pilot bracelet, and it's actually a
Mm-hmm.
multiple steps because they're really built tough, so that even if you were to lose a link, the bracelet stays on because it's a. And you'll have to take my video because it's basically, and this is not even a Breitling, but this kind of looks like one. The the bracelet. So what you do is you unscrew one side and you take like this part off, and it has two bars that
Mm-hmm.
go through the rest. So even if that comes out, your bracelet is still intact.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's pretty cool how they manufactured that. And again, that's just a really quality, comfortable bracelet,
Yeah.
and one of the best looking bracelets in the watch industry. So
And speaking of Breitling and Zen, I'm sure you probably know that both the brands are kind of intertwined. I don't know if you know that Zen actually bought out the rights to Navitimer back in the 70s or 80s,
oh
and
wow,
they have a model that looks just like the Navitimer, but it's like a fraction of the price. It's called the 903, and it's like a 41 millimeter chronograph. And people think they copied them, but they really didn't. They just bought out the rights, the patent right or whatever, the copyright to the Navitimer.
so we're gonna have to talk offline.
Yeah.
I got to see this piece.
And they're about three. I'm wanting to say around three or so.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they're both those brands are kind of intertwined that way.
Wow.
So, and then JCB, he's a Breitling fan too. The gentleman commenting on the stream here, he's got that picture there, the Transocean. I don't know if you've seen those.
That's
Those are
nice.
pretty cool.
He's got a nice reverse panda there too. His avatar.
Yeah,
I'm a huge
definitely.
reverse panda fan. I just recently obtained one from Rock the Watch, Matt Stingray. He gifted
Okay,
it to me, and it was a Dan Henry. I need to do a review on that
nice.
actually. That reminds me.
Yeah, I saw you post
Beautiful.
that up on Instagram. How do you like those?
You know what, man? Like that watch is every bit beautiful in the pictures as it is in person. But I think in
Mm-hmm.
person it's even more. It's such a very deep dial. It's very the dial has a lot of intricacies to it, and
Yeah.
that piece looks much more luxurious than its price tag. I mean, they're not cheap watches. I mean, they come in around 270, but
Mm-hmm.
and it is a quartz movement. So, but the watch comes on a authentic beads of rice bracelet, but just the way that they laid out the dial, they have the vintage Aston Martin case back in the back. That's that's etched, or should I say, it's almost like a medallion,
Mm-hmm.
and just the piece itself is just absolutely gorgeous. Dan Henry does a really nice job on their watches. So
He's got like one of the largest collections in the world too, don't he? Like personal watch collection. Like he's
yeah,
really big into vintage.
I actually reached out to Dan Henry to see if I could do any reviews on their watches, and he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
no thanks. My influencers do a really good job on his
Yeah.
brand or whatever. Like he doesn't really do a lot of advertising, but he's basically like my almost like I think he said his customers do all the advertising for him.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he gets enough business that way. So I mean, God bless him if that's the case. You know what I mean?
And Clive is saying the B09 806 1959, the Breitling Navitimer. He owns that reedition. That's a killer watch. Yeah, he has that one.
That's
That's not the watch.
so. One of the knocks on Breitling is that their resale value isn't the greatest. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they depreciate quite a lot. I think they
Mm-hmm.
depreciate, I think, on par with Omega. I mean, even though there's a lot of Omega pieces that you see that are in the 400 to 500 range, which I don't see that with Breitling. So I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little bit against which one depreciates more, but that's where Rolex comes into play, where like they're definitely more of a collector's brand. But that Navitimer, man, I think any Navitimer you own, definitely going to be a collector's piece. I mean, they're
Oh yeah.
good. I think that one definitely retains that particular model for Breitling retains their value. I think more so than any model in their collection for sure.
Definitely. Well, we're closing on an hour here, guys. You about ready to call it a day there, Joe?
Absolutely,
Unless anybody's
brother.
got any questions for Joe.
Yeah,
Anybody have any questions for Joe in the comments?
been a lot of fun, man.
Probably gonna grab a bite to eat here. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely have to come on again sometime, man.
Oh, I would love to, man. It's actually dinner time here too, man. It's a lot of fun talking to you. I'm
Nice.
glad I had a
Yeah,
chance to
we're in the
meet you.
same time zone, I believe.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock, almost five
Yeah,
o'clock
it's
here.
to finally talk to you and meet you, man. Yeah,
And great to meet a couple new friends. Got the great Gambino. I hope to see you around the channel one of these days, brother.
yeah.
Clive, good to meet you as well, buddy. Hope to see you around as well. And I wish you lots of luck on your channel, man. Um, you're pumping out content.
Thanks,
And
man. You too.
I see you definitely have a passion for watches, and you're just a
Mhm.
genuinely nice guy. You could tell that, you're one of the nice guys, one of the honest that, you're not in it for the wrong, you love the hobby and
Yeah.
it shows, man. So, kudos to you and your channel.
And if
And
there's a watch I don't like, if they try to offer me for review, which I've had a couple offer for review, I just won't accept the review. Like if it's something I don't like, I'm just not gonna take it in. You know what I mean?
yeah, so for me, like, I don't always review watches that I like.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you remember the Maker watch I just had in, the wood watch, real thick. It had the
Mhm.
wood epoxy, multicolor epoxy, and it was a skeletonized watch, huge watch. I didn't really dig it, even when I was offered to review it, but I wanted to give it a chance, because sometimes watches have a tendency to grow on you.
Mhm.
But I think this one was just so outlandish and so against the grain that I don't think there was really a huge chance of me liking it. But I do have a high respect for a quality watch.
Mhm.
And so I went ahead with the review because, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that my subscribers or,
Mhm.
when it's watching, they may be looking for this particular watch and want to see a review on it. So I gave the watch nothing but kudos in regards to its quality and its
Mhm.
craftsmanship, and the amount of hours that go into each piece because it's a very artistic piece. But I did mention that it's definitely not a watch for me per se, but I have to give it kudos where kudos is due.
Mhm.
And they did it. I think it is still a good value for what they're offering. I mean, it's a handmade piece of artwork on your wrist. Um, so for me, like, I'm not gonna always review the most popular pieces.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest with my reviews. This Nove watch, actually, the world's thinnest diver, which you can't even see it because it's so thin. You take
Mhm.
a pillow. I mean, look how thin that guy is.
That's thin.
So I got this in, and I'll be honest with you, I like the look of it. All right. But when you put it on the wrist, and I got a 7-inch wrist, I mean, it's huge.
What
You know,
size is it?
it's a 46 millimeter case diameter.
Wow. That's definitely huge.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, diameters, measurements, they don't mean much if you don't try the watch on because some watches
Mhm.
fit larger, some fit smaller. So it was just one of those things where I wanted to give it a shot. And I tried it on, and the watch is quality. I will
Mhm.
give it that. There's a lot of quality components to it. It's got that real slim tech Ronda movement in it. And, you know, the fact that they can fit such a movement into such a thin watch is amazing.
Mhm.
But the biggest gripe I had about this watch is that it's more of a fashion watch because
Mhm.
there's no pip at the 12 o'clock. The luminescence is nothing like it should be for a diver. It's not a tool watch. There's no
Mhm.
second hand to time. Even though I like the fact that it doesn't have a second hand, being a diver, usually you like to have a second hand. You usually like to have the luminescence at the pip, and it's just not a practical watch that way. But it does
Yeah.
have 60 feet of water resistance. But this one's not staying in the collection.
Yeah.
So sometimes it happens, but I wanted to do the review because it was a conversation piece, the fact that it's so thin and it's got that ratcheting mechanism right here. So when you wind the bezel,
Mm.
let me see here.
Mm.
Sorry, it's
Tough.
It's tough. It's tough to do this with the camera. Let me do it this way.
Yeah.
But you can see these little ratchets here.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 of them, and what happens is now I'm not. Here we go. You can see the teeth. See how it's moving? It's pretty neat. So that's another thing that kind of drew me to the watch. But this is definitely a dust collector in here. So I mean, for like about $330, you can pick one of these up, but not for me, But I had to. Yeah.
Nice.
So I enjoyed my time here, brother.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Guys,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't already, go over and subscribe. His channel's Average Joe Watch Reviews. He puts out some great content. You cover a little bit of everything too, don't you?
I try, man. I mean, from Casio to the Bulova or Accutron Space View. This thing is a beast. I love this watch. Micro brands, popular brands. I try to cover everything, man. I don't want to just keep on one. There's channels out there just for homages. Me personally, I like to just kind of go everywhere. So, but not too many homages on my channel because I personally don't like them. Let me put it this way: I don't like the clomages, the ones that are copying directly from the watch. I don't mind watches that take inspiration and put in their own flair, but the ones that are directly copying, I have a huge problem with. So you're not gonna see too many of them on my channel. So, but yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks again.
Thanks for coming. All right. Should be.